Welcome to the Parsha Perspective. Each week, we will delve deep in a weekly Torah portion to find a practical and insightful way to enhance your daily life. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shalom Yemini. Each week, we will look into the weekly Torah portion to find inspiration that will complement your daily life and intensify your connection to God. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Vayeitzei. Our Parsha begins with Yaakov Avinu leaving Be'er Sheva and heading to Charan to run away from Esav and to find a wife. During his journey, he rested overnight on the future home of the Beis Hamikdash, Moriah, the mountain of Moriah. During that night, he dreamt of a ladder reaching all the way up to the heavens with angels ascending and descending it. Hashem then appeared to Yaakov and told him that he would give this very land to his descendants, and that he would safeguard him until he returned to the land of Cana'an. The next morning, Yaakov woke up and recognized the holiness of this mountain and named it Beis E-l, the house of God. When Yaakov arrived in Charan, he saw Rachel, Lavan's youngest daughter, and his cousin by the city's well with her father's sheep. However, there was a large rock blocking access to the well's opening, so Yaakov single-handedly rolled off the massive rock that sat on top of the well and gave water to her sheep. Rachel ran home to tell her father that his nephew had just come to town, and Lavan went out to greet Yaakov and invited him to stay in his house as long as he needed. Lavan also offered Yaakov a job to tend to his cattle and asked him what he would like as payment. Yaakov replied that he wished to marry his youngest daughter, Rachel, to which Lavan replied that he would have to complete 7 years of work in exchange for her hand in marriage. So after 7 years of work, Lavan arranged a wedding, but switched his daughters, giving his oldest daughter Leah instead of Rachel. The next morning, when Yaakov realized what happened, it was already too late. So he waited 1 week, married Rachel, and worked another 7 years. Our Parsha contains 11 of the 12 births of Yaakov's children. Leah had Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, and Zevulun. Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, had Gad and Asher. Rachel gave birth to Yosef, and her maidservant, Bilhah, gave birth to Dan and Naphtali. However, a question comes to mind. The Pasuk in the beginning of the Parsha says, Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Be'er Sheva vayelech Charan. That Yaakov left Be'er Sheva and headed towards Charan. Rashi quotes the Medrash Rabbah that explains why the Pasuk says both Vayeitzei and he left and Vayelech and he went. The Medrash explains that when a tzaddik, a righteous person, leaves a city, he leaves an impression, because his holiness leaves with him as well. However, Yaakov Avinu left his parents' home, meaning that Yitzchak and Rivka, who were both extremely righteous and holy people, were still in Be'er Sheva. So how can we say that Yaakov left Be'er Sheva and he took the holiness of the city with him? One of the many answers that is given is that Yitzchak and Rivka did not actually live in Be'er Sheva. They were living in the city of Charan. So that when Yaakov left Be'er Sheva, the holiness of the town went with him, and therefore it is befitting to write Vayeitzei and he left. As the Medrash explains that when a tzaddik leaves the city, he takes the glory and the beauty of the town with him. However, a deeper and more profound explanation is that when the Pasuk says Vayeitzei and he left, it doesn't just mean physically or spiritually, but rather also mentally and emotionally. Meaning that when Yaakov Avinu left Be'er Sheva, he entered into a new phase of his life, the family building stage. Yaakov's mission changed from developing himself into building his family and the Jewish people. Furthermore, the Torah spotlight also changed. It went from focusing on Yitzchak and Rivka to Yaakov and his family. We see this from the fact that the Torah only mentions Yitzchak one more time and does not even tell us that Rivka passed away. Instead, we learn her passing through a hint in Parshas Vayeitzei, when Yaakov Avinu buried Dvorah, Rivka's wet nurse, in Beis E-l, the house of God. It is now understandable why the Pasuk says both Vayeitzei and he left and Vayelech and he went, because both the Torah and Yaakov Avinu have closed one chapter and entered a new one. For Yaakov, it was closing the stage of life of living at home and being under the auspices of his parents, to creating his own family and legacy. The Torah also changes the spotlight from being on Yitzchak and Rivka to Yaakov and his family and his journey to create the Jewish people. In our daily life, it is imperative that we understand that we must give space and opportunity for people to grow. Whether it be our friends, our employees, or even our children, we must provide them with the freedom and confidence to advance and succeed in all aspects of their lives. For when they know that we believe in them, it will boost their resolve and give them the courage to tackle the unknown and hopefully be successful beyond their wildest expectations. There is an amazing quote that I once heard. It is easier to believe in yourself after someone has believed in you first. Have a great weekend and good Shabbos. Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.